All right, so in a study appearing in the journal Science, as a research team reports that plants in southern England are flowering earlier. That's always a hard word for me to say. In the spring, records of the first flowering dates of 385 species over a period of 47 years show that flowering has advanced an average of 15 days per decade, an indication of climate warming, according to the authors. So, what they're saying is that it's getting warmer earlier in the year due to global climate changes. So, then again, we're just charged with the task of trying to figure out all this who, what, why business, right? So, let me do this. Well, that was discouraging. So, the who.
385 species of flowers.
Let's see here. Yeah, 385 species of flowers. Then we go to the what. What do you guys have for the what? Let's be a little more specific. Date of first flowering. When?
47 years.
Well, it is over a 47-year period, but what's the first? Yeah. So we don't know if it's in the 2000s, if it's in the 1800s. So really, technically, this is not specified. Good guess, though. Where? Southern England. Okay, doing good so far. What's next? So we got why? Why are we doing this? Mm-hmm. Yeah, indicate.
Effect of climate of flowers.
We can't say global because it's Southern England. So we're just gonna indicate. Yeah, I'm gonna say over. Well, we could say overall climate. I don't want to say global because it may not be the case in another part of the world. But we know this is definitely something that's going on in Southern England. How? I know I said it earlier, but then I thought about it. How?
Long observation.
No, it's not really specified. So what that means is, yeah, it is just observation. But what do they? How do they observe it? Are they watching it? Is there? How do they define flowering? Is it a bud? Is it when they blossom? Is it so? There's none of that is really defined. But whatever it is, and however they're measuring it, they notice that it's 15 days sooner per decade. Okay. So then the next thing is the variable. So I'm just going to do this. It's the variables are the first date. So for the variables, it's just the dates of first flowering, and that is quantitative, right? Quantitative. Any concerns? Is the first date relative to January First, I realize you guys can't see that. Let me scroll down a little bit. That would be my concern. Like, how do we know it's 15 days earlier? What about leap years? And that, and being a physics teacher too, like there's cycles, right? So a year just isn't a year. There's cycles for the Earth's orbit and the angle that it has or shares with the sun. So the sunlight hits differently and all that stuff. So the calendar, when we think about it the way that it is, there's a reason that we have leap years. But I would argue that 15 days earlier per decade for over 4 decades, nearly 5 decades, that's showing something. Okay. Now, does it really show climate? Well, it does in the sense that the flowers based on when the climate is ready, but does it necessarily mean the climate is warmer earlier? Could there be other factors, other parameters? So you got to go through all that. But the who, what, when, where, why, how, and the variables and the concerns, that's what they are for this passage. Are there any questions?